Like, I appreciate that you came here for me. That's really sweet. Aaron.
So I actually came to iLead last year and attended your breakout session from 2016 iLead and really enjoyed it, so I came back all along.
So for me. I appreciate the candid response, Aaron. Well, that's just goofy, isn't it? I chose masochism because I think that suffering has a lot more value than people think. The human brain has a tendency to focus on the negative. If you think about the most powerful lessons and powerful experiences you've ever had, most of those are negative, right? Many of them, at least, if not most. I don't know why the brain does that. I couldn't tell you why. Psychologists are still trying to figure it out. I haven't read a textbook in a while, so I don't know exactly what the theories are. But I know that it happens, and I think that's an opportunity for use. I think that we can exploit that. Bernadette? I think that we can exploit that tendency to put ourselves in situations that are difficult, that could be negative, so we can use those as learning experiences. Masochism has a more typical sexual definition, but we're not going to use that one today. Masochism is the tendency to derive enjoyment or pleasure from what could typically be seen as difficult, tiresome, or painful. So I'm going to use the word suffering a lot today. And I'm focusing on habits and on good, constructive habits. So we're not talking about like jumping off of bridges or off of your friend Cliff. We're talking about doing things that can be safe and constructive, so this would be a safe, constructive space, that will stretch you, go outside your comfort zone so that you can use those to build yourself up for the future. Raising your threshold, your standard for pain and suffering slowly or quickly, in a safe way, so that you can handle things that are awesome and really wild later on. How many of you work out? Me too, hey. Kevin, you're a big guy. How often do you work out? 5 days a week. And how long have you been working out? Approximately. Year and a half. So let's say 2 years ago, before you started, how would you compare your size and fitness to where you are now? Nowhere close, right? And if you were to draw a rough graph of your improvement over time, what would that look like? Steady increase. The same thing happens with any habit, especially with emotional resilience. The more that you put yourself out there, the more that you put in the work, the more that you can handle over time. It's just like flexing a muscle. It takes a lot of disruption. You have to break the initial pattern. You have to put stress on your body and your mind. And over time, your body will accommodate itself to that stress. You'll become stronger, more resilient, you'll become more able, and then when something really big comes your way, you'll be able to take care of it. A lot of people go through life kind of asleep. They go through life giving a 1 or 5 out of 10 effort, and then when a 10 out of 10 problem comes by, they're totally overwhelmed. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to be able to handle 10 out of 10 problems because you've prepared yourself, because you've done the training to get yourself there. You have an opportunity to do that today. I call it fear factor. Hey, up here, I have a bunch of little slips of paper with some kind of action on them. You're going to come up here and pick one and do it. Yay. Do I have a volunteer or a question? Volunteer, do you want to go first? Smash it. Round of applause for our brave volunteer. What's your name? Ariana. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And then you can do a second. David. So just wait right here. Ariana, pick any one of those. And then tell us what it says.
Tell a sad story. Okay. It's my sad story. I am currently here, and the rest of my family's in Puerto Rico. I haven't heard from my dad's side of the family. Mom's side is okay, so that's good. But yeah, that's my sad story.
And then you can just walk off now.
No problem.
Thank you so much! All right, David.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
What do you got, brother?
Ooh, it says lead a group chant /song. Since Imani's back, this is what we're gonna do. So, this is a song. It's a wind ensemble song. I'm a music ed major, so like I do music and stuff. I'll put this back. So it's gonna go 1, 2, ready. Imani, 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 Imani. Someone drop the beat. Imani, come on, get up, stand up. Imani, Imani, Imani. Okay, I'm dead. Imani. There we go.
You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you, David. Much appreciated. What? Can I? What even? David, where did that even come from? Like, Imani, are you okay? But obviously, is there an
We were talking about this at lunch, and then I was like, okay, well, the only one on my mind right now is
Good. Awesome. So awesome. Do we have another volunteer? If not, I'm going to pick somebody. Yes! And welcome our new friends who just came in late. Thanks so much for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. What's your
Yeah,
name?
no problem.
Oh,
Nika.
sorry, I forgot your name, Nika.
It's okay.
Thanks for being.
It's okay.
So pick one and then tell us what it is.
Speak on social media for 30 seconds. Like speak on it, like about it. Okay, I'll speak on it. I recently had a conversation with a friend about taking a break from social media. We're kind of doing this thing together as like a spiritual thing. So like social media can kind of make you feel insecure about yourself, kind of comparison is like the killjoy, kills joy, I should say. So taking a break from social media to really like think more about yourself and about your goals can be really beneficial. So that's my take. But it can be good to show off too. Is that 30 seconds? Oh my God. Okay, so I unprivated my Instagram. Boom. Yeah.
Thank you, Nika. We want the crowd is dying for more, Nika. Okay. Do we have another volunteer? Yeah, my man in the back. Imani, you can definitely go next. My friend. Yeah. So do the same. Come up here, grab one, tell us what it is. It's going to be a good time. All right.
All right, it says speak on teamwork for 30 seconds. Well, for me, I was in drumline for all 4 years of high school, so I consider that a pretty big team-oriented thing. A big thing was it, in my senior year, I was the section leader for the drumline, which basically is like, I'm the leader of the drumline. I make sure everybody comes to practice on time. I make sure everyone knows their music. I make sure everyone's like on the same level. So I like to associate drumline with basically everything I do with my life because I'm very passionate about it. Basically,
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Yep. Appreciate it. Now, but we're having a great time. Before we keep going, I just want to probe a little bit. So my friends who have already been up, raise your hands really quick, and I just want to hear from each of you briefly before Imani comes up and does the next one. How nervous did you feel, like scale of 0 to 10, when you were up here? 0? Awesome. What a guy. Good. So like a 7 to 10 the entire time. Okay, so you, good to know. My friend?
I'd say about an 8.
Okay, wow, nice. And then, Nika? Mm-hmm. So you felt a 10 while you were picking something. You had that moment of hesitation, totally unintentional. You had to do it. Right, but we couldn't see it. My man up here just went immediately. She also went immediately, but hesitated a little bit like you in picking. And Nika, again, just went immediately. When you pull out the hesitation, you might still feel afraid. You didn't, because you've done this before. Or you're just like a wild guy like I am. But when you eliminate that hesitation, it becomes a lot easier to just do the thing. Because if you don't have a moment to dwell on the thing that's making you afraid, you feel it, but it doesn't slow you down at all. It makes it way easier to act. Does anybody want to try and practice that while they're up here? Eliminating hesitation? Yeah, no, you've already been up here. Imani, I'm going to tell you to come up here because you've already volunteered. Imani! Full disclosure, I don't think everybody's going to get a chance to go. So if you want to go, you better pull those hands up. Or I'm going to start picking on people in the back.
Come here.
What does it say, Imani?
Give somebody a hug.
Aww. Thank you so much. You could have given anybody a hug and you used me. That was really sweet. Yeah. Who came in late besides the people in the back? Yes. Yes. Please come up here. Woo! I'm so excited for this.
Really?
Because you're awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Here you go.
Okay. So I pick a paper.
Yeah, pick one.
Okay,
Read
and
it
then
off
no
to us.
hesitation. I just read it and
No
then
hesitation,
do it.
read it and do it.
All right. What?
What? What does it say?
Oh my God.
You're hesitating.
Swap shoes with a stranger.
I'm so happy I put that one in there.
This is, I mean, my shoes are pretty cute, but like, is anyone, I'm like a 6.5.
Here's a little swap shoes.
Thank you. Anyone? Like, I'm like a 6.5 though. We'll try. Okay. I'm wearing loafers.
For the rest of the day or like for the rest of our lives?
Just, hopefully just for this moment. Like, God.
Honestly, this is a pretty good trade-off.
This is really awkward.
Thank you.
But like, these are really comfortable. Thank you.
Look what a positive this has been.
Yeah.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. I'm Kim.
Hi, Kim. My sister's name is Kim. Yeah.
Awesome. Bernadette. So,
Wow.
do we switch back now, or do we like almost like yeah? Honestly, I wouldn't mind like.
It's an experience.
Imani, do you have a question? Yeah, Imani, I would love to hear your comment. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Bernadette.
That was a good resembling way to show that sometimes we're like really fearful of things and it can turn out to be really amazing and really beneficial for you. So.
I just like to add that she pulled all of that from two people switching shoes.
And I'd like to add that that's because it was there. Thank you, Imani, because I was going to say that too. Kim, you Wonder Woman, you didn't hesitate. You wanted to, and I was your accountability. I wouldn't let you. Do you have someone in your life who can be that accountability for you? Absolutely. Good. Who here doesn't have an immediate option to come to mind for that kind of accountability? Like, let's say you wanted to change your lifestyle choices and you're trying to think of who could I tell to hold me accountable to that every single day or every week when you check in. Do you have an immediate, like 1 or 2 or 3 people that you think of who may be willing to do that for you or may be able to do that for you? If you don't, this is not the focus of this workshop, but if you don't, I suggest that you find a way to do personal accountability. I keep a to-do list that resets every day, so if I don't do it, like there's a clear mark that I haven't filled it out. And there's also a streak counter for how many days I've done it in a row. So my highest one is like 330. My lowest one is, of course, 0, because sometimes I don't do that one. And I do a lot of individual accountability. Other people operate differently. Sometimes they need external. And when you're going for all this really wacky stuff, sometimes you really super don't want to do it. And it's really easy to talk yourself out of it. How many of us have made New Year resolutions? No? Awesome. Awesome. Good. Anyway, we're not going to dwell on that. New Year resolutions. How many of you have upheld all of those? Every single one? Conclusively? So you have not upheld all of them? Forever. So far, you've upheld every single one that you've ever made? That's impressive. Then no. The question was, have you upheld every single one of them ever that you've made? Every single New Year's resolution or commitment that you've ever made, have you upheld every single one? No. Agreed. A New Year's resolution is a commitment, it's just a specific timeline yeah. Yes. I can tell you about it afterwards. I highly recommend it, but that's not the focus of this workshop. Where I'm headed with this is commitments are really hard. And if you're making one that's outside your comfort zone, it's really hard to motivate yourself to do it, and it's really easy to talk yourself out of it. And that's why we need accountability. So I'm just saying, find a way to do it. Right now, I'm that guy. But when you walk out this door, like, I'm not going to be there. I mean, unless you want my phone number, but I'm not going to be there. And so you're going to need somebody, yourself, your parents, your friends, your dog, like, I don't know. But you need something. Because it's not going to be all sunshine and roses. Who wants to go next? Yeah! I appreciate the enthusiasm. Whee! Doing all right there, Brian? Yeah, anyone? What is it? You're hesitating. No.
Oh my God. Okay. Tell a funny story. I'm not funny.
You tried to cop out of that. Come on. I believe in you.
Okay, so one time at a clinical rotation, one of the nursing students had a patient where the patient kept shooting at him, like this, going pew, 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 and he was at a psychiatric unit. So one of the students decided to bring out an AK-47, I think, and try to shoot the patient back. And they were like acting and playing out with one another. So I thought that was funny.
Thank you!
Welcome!
Thank you so much. Question, if I had not been here to make you do the funny story one, would you have done the second one? Or the third one or the fourth one? Okay. Now, like, it doesn't make you good, bad, right, or wrong to cop out of, like, that initial commitment, because this was obviously, it's not like you chose this. This was just thrust upon you by me, and I'm a ridiculous individual, so I made you swap shoes and stuff. But you got to choose your priorities. You got to make sure you know what those are. Mine are self-development and growth, which means that I have to get super outside my comfort zone if I want to get anywhere. How big is your comfort zone? I'm just asking. Raise your hand higher if it's like super big. She raised 2 hands really high, that's awesome. What? I want you up here next, please. Okay. All right, brother. And yet your discomfort was a 15, but you still made it work. That's awesome. And if your hand is a little bit lower, keep in mind, if this is your comfort zone, right here, circle about the size of my face, this is where the magic happens. You have to get so far outside into these really weird, freaky places, like swapping shoes with a stranger. I'm sorry? Over here, Abigail. Stop, I'm not doing it a third time. The point is, it takes a lot of hard work, effort, stretching, growth and perseverance and determination to get to those places. It's not going to be, I'm going to walk outside the door, unless you're agoraphobic, but nobody here is because you're here. For reference, agoraphobia is a fear of open spaces, large spaces, or large crowds. Since you're here, I'm assuming you don't have that. My friend, raise both hands, orange shirt, please come up here. Woo! I think, what's your name? Shin? Shin, I would love it if after you've gone up, you would choose the next 2 people. Just spontaneously. Yeah. So come up here and you'll do one. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have so much fun. You're so cool. And then please pick the next 2 people.
Okay.
Totally your choice. So you can have them raise hands. You can just pick them out. Up to you. I trust you.
Okay. Who's Koji?
Me.
Oh my God. Okay. My thing was beat Koji in an arm wrestle.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Where does it go?
I prepared for this. Okay. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
All right. Wait, what if I don't beat you?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go.
You're awesome, Shin. Appreciate it. The other option was rock, paper, scissors, by the way. Well, who knows? I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere in that pile. Where was? Okay.
Should I pick 2 people?
Yeah, so pick the next 2 people.
You with the puff. Yeah. And you. Yep.
So yeah.
What?
Instruct them. Let them pick, and then you'll be the moderator.
You right? Oh.
Yeah.
So you just pick one, yeah.
Okay, so.
What is it?
Mine says define leadership. Oh gosh, that's harder than I thought. I guess leadership is being able to guide a group of people. That's all I got. Okay.
Yay. Okay.
Hi. So mine was tell a funny story, but we already did that. So I guess I can do it again. Let's see, funny story. So I'm an RA, and as an RA, I see a lot of things, like a lot of things. It's kind of crazy. So something funny that happened actually like a couple weeks ago was I get woken up in the middle of the night by a resident who tells me I got a problem. I'm like, well, what's the problem? It's like 3 a.m. He's like, well, I lost my keys. Okay. I'm like, where'd you lose them? He said, the ocean. I'm like, well, you know, you lost your keys in the ocean. What can I do for you? So that was kind of funny. I was annoyed, though, because sleep deprivation is real. So the end. Thank you.
Thanks so much, my friends. I appreciate it. You're all awesome. Thanks for being here. How you feeling? Good? How we feeling? Good? Feeling strong? Who didn't come up here and wants to share what it was like? Sorry, we can't take any more. We got to move on. But who wants, hi, Isabel. Who wants to share what it was like to watch all of that? Aaron? It was lit. Thank you, Kevin! Aaron?
So has anybody ever been on a cruise ship before? Got a few hands. So I felt, sitting right here in the front row, like I was on a cruise ship. I've been on one, and I felt like I was at the comedy show, like on the 4th day of the 5-day cruise. Everyone's kind of cruised out at that point. Everyone just wants to relax, laugh a little bit, and that was really encouraging just to watch everybody come up and tell funny jokes and change shoes, and you. Give them a round of applause. Wow. Wow.
Get out of here. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Let's not forget that we did start off with a sad story. That is a thing that happened. Because not all of this is going to be happy and fun. Some of this is going to be super tough and not your choice at all. Yep. So this is actually from South Park, but something that I like to remember is that, yeah, I did not make this up. This is from South Park. Whenever you are experiencing something truly awful, it helps to remember the things that were really great. One, because those happened, and there's likely to be more of that in the future, but also because it means that if you can remember something like that that was better than what you're going through now, it means that that is possible and that it can happen again. When you're doing these things, when you're trying to be masochistic or just stretch yourself and grow, some of it will not be by choice. Like Irma, like a family death, like, I don't know, you get into a car accident. Things are tough. I'm not trying to be disappointing or upsetting. I'm just trying to be honest with you. Things are really tough. There are a lot of people on this planet who need a lot of help. Some of us are in this room. And if we have an opportunity to grow and change, awesome, let's do it together, please. If you need some time, take it. I'm here, we're here. Your family, friends, pets, they're all here. Okay? Anybody else want to share? Thank you, Aaron, appreciate it. Kevin, you're looking strong. Do you want to share something? It was lit. Thank you. That's the second time you said that. I appreciate it. Anybody else who was watching and would like to share what it was like to kind of check it out? I'll take one more, and then, yeah, my friend in the back. And then I'd like to hear from a couple of you who came up what it was like to kind of do stuff in front of a bunch of strangers.
Just sitting there and watching it, you really get the chance to see someone's vulnerabilities. Because when we're by ourselves, that's when we can sit in our room and we can really play like those sad songs and eat that gallon of ice cream and cry in the shower, But seeing it on stage where you're not allowed to put up that wall, where you're forced to tell a funny story and you don't have one on hand, or you're forced to trade shoes with someone, like that's really the essence of humanity, and that's really what connects us. And so watching that, you kind of empathize with that. You're like, you know what? I wouldn't want to do that, but you know what? Sometimes I'll have to, kind of like you were saying. And so just watching that was really appreciative, like made me appreciative of the relationships that you make and the ones that you look forward to later on.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, did you want to share something?
Yeah, just real quick. Like I know you talked about like no hesitation in general because like it makes it easier, but also I notice this a lot in other spaces. Like if you decide to go all in, like even if you don't think that you're a funny person or you don't think you have a funny story, if you're just like, I'm just gonna do it, I'll just go for it. And like if you put yourself all in, you'll actually like reap what you sow. But if you're kind of like, I don't really care or I don't really want to be here or whatever, then like it wouldn't have been fun for any of us to experience it. So like being all in is really cool and important. It works.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Isn't it interesting how if you do give absolutely 100%, you don't have any other options except to do well. Like there is success and there is absolute failure, and absolute failure is totally unacceptable. Whereas if you do like 40 to 50%, like you've given yourself options, you've given yourself a cop-out. And you know what, if that's how you want to run it, okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that sometimes in those really difficult situations, you may not be as successful as you could be. But I appreciate what you said, and I believe it too. I think that it's really valuable when you've made that decision to just pound it into the dirt. Like, look in the mirror and give yourself a quick smack in the face and be like, I'm gonna make this happen. Your resolve, your determination has to be stronger, thank you for the slap, has to be stronger than the problem if you wanna succeed. And that's just a decision you have to make. It's not an easy one. Mikhail.
I was actually inspired, oddly enough. I'm sorry, dude. Not that I wasn't expecting to be, but seeing people like get out of their comfort zone like that. I mean, I'm not one to do that, but with no hesitation, it actually does lower it lowers like your anticipation of what's going to happen. So the more time I have to think, the more I like think of the possibilities. Like I'm gonna screw up, like what I'm doing right now. Like I was like, just do it. I actually you inspired me to, I was like, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna do something. I don't care what it is.
My man.
That's right.
Thank you, Mikhail. Did anybody, Bernadette? Yeah. And then Kevin, you look like you, okay, so Bernadette, Kevin, and then I think.
So I just want to say a few words about how it felt being like a passive participant, I guess, because I never really went up there, but I did switch shoes with Kim. And I think as like that person on the other side, seeing her like kind of freak out, but also like, okay, I'm going to do this. I wanted to be the other person receiving her and like be the one encouraging her to do something and make her comfortable as she's attempting to do something that might be out of her comfort zone. So I think, I feel like if we all acknowledge one another as someone that's trying their best and we try our best to help them achieve their goals, everything would be so much like smoother when it comes to like getting things done, reaching our goals and everything.
Agreed. Absolutely. Everyone needs support, and each of us has a role to play as a support.
All right, so aside from it being lit, I just have a quote I wanted to share with everybody that I think ties in with what we've been doing, which is the biggest mistake you can make is being afraid to make a mistake. So get out of your comfort zone.
Thank you, brother. Who said that?
My wrestling coach, like 4 years ago.
Okay. Kevin's wrestling coach. 2013. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. There's some other really goofy stuff in here, like dance. It just says the word dance. No one picked that one. I'm an impulsive individual. I'm a really impulsive individual. I have been able to use that to my advantage, so it's way easier for me to avoid hesitating, to just act. It's a lot harder for some people. It just takes practice. This was an opportunity to do a little bit of practice, to watch what it looks like. I encourage you to do that more in the future. We're going to go to the next step. And I have for you, it's called Scroll 9. It's from a book entitled The Greatest Salesman in the World by a man named Og Mandino. Before you read this background, this is a book about developing good habits. It's a book by a white Christian man, written kind of roughly in the perspective of a white Christian man, so just keep that in mind. It'll say things like, I am the man, I am the woman, just change it, or take what you like and avoid the things that you don't, I don't care. This is just a resource. Think of this whole workshop as a buffet. You take the things you like, you take a lot of it, you don't eat the Brussels sprouts. And the scrolls are each dedicated to one good habit. This one, I think, is really relevant to what we're discussing today. I would love it if you would break up into groups of about 5. 5 would be nice. Preferably with people you don't know, just around. And then I will pass out some of these sheets. Okay? Go.
You want me to take the whole exactly the same? Okay. Are you passing them out too? Or? Okay.
Once you've got your group, if one person within the group could raise their hand, Quinn and I are going to pass out the scroll. Oh, his name is also Quinn. Hell yeah. Is this your group? Okay.
Including Clayton, we're all from the same school. So that's why we're all.
We're talking about you. Can you feel it?
I mean, I heard him.
Okay. So you felt it? I got up by you.
And your instruction for this activity is very simply, someone in the group read it aloud to your group. It should take you maybe 2.5 minutes. Once you've done that, please discuss it as a group, how you felt about it, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you've seen in real life, what you think you should practice more, for maybe 5 minutes. I'll time you, I'll let you know when you've got a couple minutes left. I'll ask you if you want to take another minute or two. So someone, read it aloud to your group, and then you'll discuss it, okay? Anybody not understand? Cool, go ahead. Yeah, 1 or 2 sheets per group. Y'all have about 1 more minute, roughly, to discuss. All right, y'all. Who wants to share what they talked about? I know you lot were having a good time in the back, so I'd love to hear what y'all had to say. Anything super cool strike you? Yes.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Ebun. This message reminds me of myself. I'm just going to tell a little story about myself. So I'm kind of an introvert. I'm shy, and I like to step out of my comfort zone. But then this semester, I just told myself, excuse me, Ebun, you have been waiting for too long. Go out and do something. And so I don't know how to swim, but then I decided I'm going to learn how to swim. I'm afraid of water, and then in the spring, we went for this kind of retreat, and we went paddle boarding, something I've never done in my life, and I'm going to do it again. I'm afraid of heights, and I went rock climbing, whatever that thing is called, and I'm going to do it again. I would like to go skydiving, and like it just says, yeah. So it just reminds me of just acting and not, and since I decided to take all these actions, I've just been on the move. I joined the CSL, whatever. I came for iLead, and I'm proud of myself. When you act out and don't hesitate, you feel good about yourself and about what you're about the rewards. So act.
Thank you so much. And then,
yeah. Hi, my name's Allie, and this essay, it reminds me of my transition from high school to college. I'm a sophomore now, but in high school, I kind of try to stay away from everything, because in middle school, I was very active in my middle school life. High school, I was like, I don't care. And I went to an art school, so everyone, you know, there'd be like school films and like the theater and all that. I didn't attend anything. Until my senior year, I helped at a senior showcase, and that's when all my teachers recognized me, but by then it was kind of too late. So when I went to college, I was like, I want to actually like show who I am, so I actually went and I tried participating, and now I'm the news director for ALTV, our news station, so that's exciting. So yeah, so it's good to show, to try to act, and I'm trying to do more, and I'm trying to like help myself and try and get like work on a business and things like that. So you just have to go for it.
thank you. Thank you so much. Somebody? Yeah.
Shouldn't it?
What?
I thought she was going to speak, and then she handed it to me. Hold on, y'all. I dropped the paper. Okay. Something that really hit me was I hunger for success, I thirst for happiness and peace of mind. Lest I act, I will perish in a life of failure, misery, and sleepless nights. One of the inspirational, like, I like watching inspirational things. That's one of the reasons why I come to iLead, because I get inspired every year. But one thing that they said was that you won't achieve success until you want as much as you want to breathe. So it has to be something that's visceral to you, that you feel. And first of all, this just hit my soul in so many different ways. That's how our group, we were like, yeah. We were like eating the words, because it was just so good. Yeah, so that's what hit me. Go ahead.
So when we were reading it, what really hit me was the refrain. It says, I will act now, or like, I'll act. And the thing is, like, when you're reading it, it's like, you know, I want to do these things. That's the thing I got from it. It's like, we make all these plans in our head, you know, I'm going to be married by 30, I'm going to have 5 kids by 35, you know, I'm going to have a house by 40. You know, not me, just saying in general. So, you know, like, we make all these plans, but, you know, we're 30 and now we're like, I'm still living at home with my mom. So, like, it's nothing wrong with that, of course, but we don't meet our goals because we're waiting for the right time. And from reading that, what I got was that sometimes we really just have to take that first step. I will act now. I want this, so I'm going to do it right now. You know, I want this later, so I'm going to start that process now. And so when I'm thinking about my own life, I'm really starting to think of ways that I can put myself in a position to get the things that I want. And so it's no longer I want to do it, I'm going to get that tomorrow.
When I started reading my section, I kind of felt bullied, because I was like, you're targeting me. It's fine. But the one thing that I took from it, like how he said a quote, Kevin, you my dog, I like you. He said, like, one of the quotes from Thomas Edison is, if we did all the things that we were capable of doing, we would be astounded. That's kind of the gist of it. And my thing kept saying, I will act now, I will act now. And it's something that I have to use in my job. like as an RA, I have to just step to that door knock, say what I have to say, especially in an incident. It doesn't matter how scared I am. I have to just say what I feel, and then after that, I'll go worry about it later and get the critiques later. So that was something that really spoke to my soul, my spirit, who I am, everything.
Thank you so much, all three. One more. Out of time? Oh, rats. Thank you, Quinn. We're out of time. I'm so sorry. I would love it if you would come to me and just like say what it is that you're feeling, or if you would talk to each other when you're done. Totally your choice. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you taking your time. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate everyone who spoke, who came up here and did something, who like was really interacting and really gave. Thank you so much. You should have been given a post-assessment. If you haven't already, please fill that out. Give it to Quinn, my man standing right here, and also hand him the pen that he gave you when you entered. Thank you so much. Yes. The app is also a website, so you can download it on your phone or just do it on your computer browser. It's called Habitica. Habit, just the word habit, ICA.com. Koji. Sorry, brother.